Max Verstappen's terrible weekend in Hungary will raise a lot of questions for the Austrian team, and it seems that the four-time world champions are far from satisfied with the progress being made behind closed doors. Whether we like it or not, there appear to be many underlying issues with the RB21, but with even bigger problems at the factory, will Red Bull be able to give him a competitive car in the new era of regulations? And more importantly, if they don't, should he simply terminate his contract and look for a new team, one where he is valued much more? The race in Hungary is undoubtedly one that Verstappen will want to forget as soon as possible. We saw him outclassed in both qualifying and race pace, not just by strategy, but also by the speed of the car. Verstappen qualified in P8 and finished in P9, behind Liam Lawson, who only raced 2 races with Red Bull before being dropped for lack of pace. This shows that the RB21 is virtually undrivable, and that, if you want to compete at the front, serious changes need to be made. Verstappen was very disappointed after the Hungarian Grand Prix, and I don't think you can blame him. He qualified 8th and finished 9th, behind Lawson, the driver with the shortest stint at Red Bull. On top of that, his strategy also fell apart. When he came out of the pit stop, he got stuck in traffic and couldn't make up any positions. In short, it was another disastrous weekend for Red Bull. Only one driver in the points, and now that P9 is the reality for Verstappen, can he do anything to motivate himself in the second half of the season? For now, Verstappen is clear about one thing. The fight for the championship is over. It will be between Piastri and Norris, and he will have to settle for maintaining 3rd place in the Drivers' Championship. Russell is breathing down his neck and has no intention of giving up. Regarding the race, Verstappen said it was very painful for everyone, which is why Meeks felt the need to apologize to the Ford World Champion. "Sorry, Max, we didn't give you the car you deserve, but thank you for giving it your all. We'll keep going." But where can they go from here? The technical leadership, headed by Wache and Balbo, seems to understand nothing about the car. Just look at the development war that began in 2023, when all the teams started to discover where Red Bull's dominance was coming from. Rob Marshall, former head of aerodynamics at Red Bull, joined McLaren and turned the team into a top-tier outfit, completely restructuring the technical hierarchy. Newey is gone, as are Wheatley and Courtenay, and Sauber has made huge progress under the leadership of Red Bull's former sporting director. It's not just that. The facts are clear when it comes to Red Bull and Verstappen's poor performance. For example, the current streak without a podium finish is 4 races. The last time something like this happened was between Brazil 2017 and Baku 2018, with 6 races without a podium finish. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. In 2023, Verstappen won in Hungary with the biggest lead of the season, 33 seconds. 2 years later, he finished behind a Racing Bull and a minute behind the leader, Lando Norris. Things can change very quickly. We already saw Mercedes's decline in 2022 with the change in regulations. But in this same regulatory era, it's hard to find a team that has fallen so low, even with one of the best drivers, if not the best, in its ranks. However, 2025 is already lost for Verstappen and Red Bull, and the driver himself has said so openly. Whether he finishes 9th with 2 points or out of the top 10, it makes no difference to him. His season is over, and he accepts it. What he does not accept is what is coming in 2026. The fact that nothing works on this car may not be so worrying for next year, but it is the core of the problem that should concern him. All the changes that are needed for Red Bull to become a championship-caliber team again. If technical leadership remains under Balbo and Wache, it is highly doubtful that Red Bull will make significant progress. This year, they should focus on just one thing: verifying whether the improvements they have in the simulator translate into performance on the track. Because when the new regulations come into force, they will have little or no flexibility to fix problems. And, for now, predictions point to Red Bull and Audi being at the back of the pack due to their rookie status in engine development. Helmut Marko's optimism, however, seems excessive. The Austrian veteran said that the limitations seen in Hungary will not be repeated for the rest of the season. But it is difficult to believe that he himself believes those words. He insists that Verstappen is still in the fight for the championship, even though we know that this is virtually impossible. Even so, he insists that the problems seen in Budapest have been resolved and that we will not see another similar disaster. Marko said, "I think we found the cause of our problems this weekend. I don't expect it to happen again after the summer break." Max quickly caught up with Lawson after his second stop, but the car started to slide, with constant understeer and then oversteer. After the break, we will continue to learn and make some small improvements. We have to try to get back to being number 2 behind McLaren. But aside from the car being a disaster to drive, what is Red Bull's real problem? The RB21 has already proven to be a very tough rival, but the root of the problem lies in 2023. Verstappen repeatedly said that the car had problems and that winning 19 out of 22 races that year did not mean it was easy to drive. It was simply that the rest were too far behind. Max warned that worse times were coming, but no one listened. Now, Red Bull is easily a mid-table team, or even at the bottom if it weren't for him. Just look at their pure performance in Hungary. Even Racing Bulls had no trouble beating them in qualifying and the race on a circuit that should favor the RB21 much more than the Italian team. The problem is obvious: technical leadership. Red Bull was right to part ways with Horner, painful as it was, given that he had been there since the Jaguar purchase. Everything comes to an end, and at that point, Horner was more of a distraction than a leader. But Wache and Balbo should also go. Red Bull relies too much on them, and they seem to have no idea how to make the improvements work. Not everything is Newey's fault, but since he stopped developing the car, nothing positive has been heard about Red Bull. The good results were due more to Max's difference than to a team effort. And with the strategists starting to make more mistakes, the big question arises: was Max right to commit to Red Bull beyond 2026? In my opinion, it was a mistake, because he is now part of a sinking ship. Yes, he has the talent and greatness that few possess, but if we look at Leclerc at Ferrari, how is he any different? Except that Red Bull had a golden era of 4 titles with Max, the risk of falling into a loop like Ferrari's is there. With all this in mind, do you think Verstappen already regrets committing to Red Bull beyond 2026? And more importantly, are they in a situation where they rebuild from within, or stay the same and risk becoming a backmarker team with a 4-time world champion in their ranks? Let us know in the comments, and when you do, be sure to click on the video that appears on your screen now.